So we're underway then in Manchester. Manchester City will be champions if they win their final 2 matches. That starts today. Up against Liverpool, headed up by their former manager, Gareth Taylor. Will he come back to haunt his former side? Pyrotechnics starting to clear. It's a nice spring afternoon here in Manchester as Bergstrom takes the throw in down the line. Yamashita with a new hair colour.
Yeah, I just wonder if the hair dye and also the fireworks that you mentioned were already planned. As you said, they would have been hoping and looking at the fixture list, hoping they could have been crowned champions today and lifted it here in front of their home fans, but it wasn't to be.
No, that loss to Brighton last weekend put any hope of that away. But Andre Yegler, as the Manchester City manager, says they just need to stick to the game plan. How the league ends is up to them, and they don't want any regrets when they leave the field.
Yeah, he's been brilliant, hasn't he, since he came in. It's remarkable what he's achieved from a performance perspective as well as a results perspective in his first year in the BWSL. Didn't have the best of times in his final year as Denmark manager, but wow, has he had an impression, made an impression on this group and on the fans.
So often second place, Manchester City. 5 straight campaigns, in fact, after 2016, City were runners-up. Can they finally take that step this year and finish first place? Chillag gets away from Knack. Running from the Liverpool forward, and the ball across was an inviting one. Holland couldn't reach it.
Well, that's a brilliant run, wasn't it? And I wonder, she has been their most used substitute, Chillag, the Swiss striker, so far this season, but in from the start tonight. And I just wonder if they watched that performance against Brighton and Hove Albion last weekend and saw the damage that was done, particularly down that left-hand side from a City perspective.
Kerry Holland dinks it up to the back post, and it's met by Chillag. Really aggressive jump, but the header well over in the end. First chance, though, for Liverpool.
Oh, excellent start, wasn't it? I love that they kept this move alive after a bright start. Acres of space for Kerry Holland. That's a dangerous game to play. She's been one of the brightest players in the red shirt of Liverpool. Big thumbs up from Chillag. Really like that inclusion that Gareth Taylor has made. It's very aggressive from the former City boss.
And great pressing by Denise O'Sullivan. In on goal and forces a save from Yamashita. Corner for Liverpool, and Manchester City have started a little nervy.
Yeah, they have. Sloppy stuff between 2 of their stars, Kasparai and Hasegawa, just being hunted by Denise O'Sullivan. And she's in from the off today. It's not a bad strike, but it's a good save down to her right from Yamashita.
First corner of the game then. In by Holland, out by Bunny Shaw, but it will be behind for another corner.
Well, we know how deadly Bunny Shaw is in the air. She'll be a bit gutted that she's having to have an impact with her heading duties in the other box. Much more used to attacking crosses herself, but he'll be delighted with the start his team's made.
5 seasons that Manchester City won the FA Cup, the League Cup, but could never quite get it over the line in the Barclays WSL. Must be a strange feeling watching City come close now. Holland, and it's well struck off the base of the post. Grace Fisk it was with the effort. What a fantastic, energy-filled start this is from Liverpool.
Well, they have not read the script, have they, Liverpool? It's a brilliant corner routine and a nice little side-footed volley. Really unfortunate that it doesn't just fall to the feet of Chillag, who shrugged off Lauren Hemp as well.
Really positive start from Liverpool. Gareth Taylor did say that he brought in the likes of Denise O'Sullivan because she's so aggressive in the midfield, and we've seen that already, winning that ball with the high press.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he said he wanted to bring in. That was part of his philosophy that he was trying to embed in this group of players, but it's been well reported how thin on the ground they were from just a depth perspective. Players he's brought in January, and obviously more time on the training pitch with his players has had an effect, and they've gone all out here. They must be buoyed by knowing their status as a BWSL 1 team. Fortunately, that result for Leicester has, as you said, resigned them to finish in bottom, so it's almost a free hit for Liverpool, this.
His fist goes back to Jennifer Falk. What an important signing she's been for Liverpool. On loan from BK Häcken, Swedish side. As Grace Fisk overplays her hand. The ball from Fagino into Shaw, though, a little overhit, and Falk will come and take control of the situation.
Yeah, really good pressing, wasn't it, from Fagino. It was well read in the end by Bernabei. She had to be alive to it, but Shaw was in. There's Sam Coffey. As Manchester City try and calm things down and take the game by the scruff of the neck. The ball over the top for Carolyn. And the flag is raised, if a little late. Yeah, good line in the end from the Liverpool back line. And it's fascinating, actually, although they're at opposite ends of the table, Liverpool and Manchester City, both teams love to dominate possession. You can see she's just straight offside there, Carolyn, although that is a very high Liverpool line. Dangerous game to play when Jade Rose had a free foot. Doesn't agree, the Brazilian. Wag of the finger. Asagawa. Picked up by Fisk. Liverpool's captain. On by Holland. Here's Lauren Hemp then. Scored the winner for England against Spain in the World Cup qualifier recently. And again, out comes Falk to deal with it. Yeah, and you can just hear the excitement in the crowd. They're here. They've put on a real party atmosphere here. They were here really early as well to welcome the players. High fives for all of the group. They enjoyed that bit of skill from Hemp. On by Olsen, and that's a nasty collision. Chilag. Shoulder going right into Rebecca Knack. Yeah, it was a really brave header from Rebecca Knack, the German centre-back. It was an awkward height as well. Nothing intentional about the challenge from Chilag, but you can understand it, probably a heavy landing, clutching her shoulder there, Knack. Here's that earlier chance then for Grace Fisk. It's just really good movement, actually, to just duck behind Kirsten Kasperai, then come back onto it, get good contact with her right instep. So unfortunate, just ricochets back off the post, and it's a good challenge in the end from Knack, I think, to sweep up. And they thought it was in. Liverpool are, of course, in the FA Cup semi-final next weekend against Brighton, so potential silverware still on the line for them in that, and they want to keep their form up ahead of that. Manchester City could also be their opponents if they reach the final. Manchester City against Chelsea is the other semi-final. Yeah, and he'll be really pleased with just the manner in which they've started, the attitude that's on show. He criticised his team last week for not showing enough in the duels in particular. They didn't earn the right to play, that's what he said. Positive there to see Knack sitting up, but yeah, there's a late shoulder in from Chilag, who apologises immediately. All friendly between Knack and Chilag. Here's the table then as it stands. Manchester City gaining an extra point. And if they were to drop points today, if they were to draw, for example, then
They could actually go into the final day of the season second behind Arsenal if Arsenal win all those games in hand, and it could go down 2 goal difference. Now, Manchester City have lost a BWSL title on goal difference before, the 2023-24 season. That time that Chelsea, in their final couple of games, scored an absolute hatful and ended up winning by a superior goal difference of +8. So Manchester City will want to keep it in their hands. Win today, win against West Ham, and there's nothing Arsenal can do to catch them. Drop points, though, and they leave the door ajar.
Yeah, they do, which is crazy to think because they've been so dominant. They've been top for so long of Manchester City, but especially given the fact that Arsenal are now out of that Champions League, were knocked out the FA Cup by Brighton, didn't pick up the League Cup either, so their only chance at silverware, so they'll be watching this one very, very intently.
The thing is, though, Arsenal also have to pack in their final 4 BWSL games in the final 10 days, so whether they can get maximum points from all of those, well, that's another question.
Yeah, it is, and Kerry Holland on this occasion just going a little bit too early. But again, there is space there for both teams.
Recently made her 50th appearance for Wales. Kerry Holland, former teammate of yours, Nia.
Yeah, she's just brilliant. And on the stats that you traditionally look at in terms of assists and goals, she's not right up there, but things that she is top for Liverpool is things like blocks and dribbles and crosses. So I think that's why fans are falling in love with her for Wales and for Liverpool, is that all-round work rate, both sides of the game.
Well dealt with by Rose. Opening 11 minutes or so, though, and it's all Liverpool. 2 decent chances. A strike from O'Sullivan, well saved by Yamashita, and Grace Fisk striking the base of the post from a corner. And we all know as well, Bjorta Olsen doesn't need many chances to score a goal. Liverpool's leading goal scorer in the WSL, and all 6 of her league goals have either put Liverpool ahead or brought them level, so she scores big goals only.
Yeah, and I think they'll be really keen to make it tell on the scoreboard, this little period of dominance for them. Not what the fans at the Joy Stadium expected, but probably what Gareth Taylor hoped for.
Won by Kasparai. Another Liverpool throw-in. It does feel a little bit nervy in the stands. Here's Bernabé, former Chelsea player. Only made 1 BWSL appearance, though, for Chelsea. Sullivan can't keep it in, and City want to get things moving.
Yeah, and in fairness to Taylor, he did mention in his pre-match interview that he expected the opening 15 minutes or so to be messy. They were his words, not mine, and it's just this. It's a bit of an arm wrestle for momentum and control of the match. As we said, both teams like to possess the ball. City won't be happy with Liverpool having as much as they've had.
Fisk will see that out. They don't have a great record against Manchester City, Liverpool, but very few teams do. Liverpool have lost 11 of their last 13 Barclays Women's Super League matches against the Citizens. Picked up by Nagano. Forward by Falk, straight to Carolyn though, but Nagano was there. Aggressive press from Manchester City. Can Liverpool work their way out of it? The answer is yes. Olsen. Shimazu. Into the channel for Chilag. One back by Enderby. O'Sullivan now. This is good from Liverpool. Kerry Holland. Ball to the back post, looking for Chilag, who very nearly got ahead to that. Corner for Liverpool. Boos from the crowd for that decision.
Yeah, it's just brilliant football, wasn't it, from back to front from Liverpool. Once they beat that first bit of pressure from Manchester City, they managed to work it through midfield really well, and we know she can go off her right and off her left. You can see why they were moaning. They felt it came off Chilag, but I think it was Rebecca Knack who got the final contact.
Liverpool came close from their last corner, and they repeat the feat this time. Cass and Kasparais marking Fisk a little closer. In by Holland, met by Clark, and another aerial delivery met by a Liverpool player, and Clark perhaps ought to have done better.
Yeah, and she's brilliant in the air, Jenna Clark. She's having a terrific season. You can see she's being closely marshalled by Jade Rose, but does just get half a yard of space. I think Rose does just about enough.
Quarter of an hour played. Liverpool, the side with more opportunities. Manchester City yet to have a shot on goal. Greenwood. It goes to Yamashita. Bunny Shaw trying to pick out Carolyn. And are Manchester City perhaps missing Vivian Miedemar?
Yeah, I think so, but I think more obviously, I think the way that Manchester City are looking to build, they're desperate to use Hasegawa in that deeper role, that number 6 role. They're so reliant on her to use her as a bounce player when they're trying to build from the back. And Denise O'Sullivan, I think, has just been tasked in that moment of sticking to her like glue, and they're really struggling to break down the Liverpool press.
Flicked on by Shaw. Shimizu heads it back to the Jamaican forward, who was looking for Hemp at the back post. Breaks for Denise O'Sullivan. Olsen's made the run. Here is Olsen. Perhaps took a touch too many. That's excellent from Fagino. Carolyn can't quite get it under control and goes all the way through to the Liverpool goalkeeper. A little bit better, though, from Manchester City.
Yeah, good little touch, wasn't it, from Fagino. I think possibly the wrong option from Shaw. She tried to find the feet of Caroline, but actually Shimizu had tucked right in, and it opened up Lauren Hemp on the left.
And that will be a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, it was a meaty challenge from Sam Coffey, wasn't it? It's a bouncing ball, which is always awkward, and it's a clear foul. This is why she's in the team as well. She does this side of the game, breaks up play.
Chilag. Back to Enderby. Nagano. Here is Enderby. Chilag looking for a way across. Instead, she wins the corner. Another Liverpool corner.
Yeah, just full of confidence when they enter that final third. It's intricate combination play, but it's done at good speed as well.
Liverpool's 4th corner of the game then. Holland set to deliver again. She is a dead ball expert. And it goes, and it's not dealt with. And it struck Knack. I'm not quite sure where it struck her, but it went back to Yamashita.
It's almost like she wasn't expecting it, but it's square in the face. Yeah, no wonder she's down. I'm getting a bit of sympathy from her teammates. She's had a pretty busy opening 20 minutes as Knack. She's been in the wars.
Good defensive header in the end. Rose to Fagino, all a little bit loose from Manchester City, something we're not used to seeing. That's better. Fagino has been energetic, incisive. Carolyn, though, and Shaw not quite on the same wavelength so far this afternoon.
No, and as you say, it's only Firmino that's shown a really good couple of little touches round the corner. But I think credit has to go to this Liverpool press again, just giving them no room to breathe.
Up to Shaw. Hasegawa. That's nice. Coffey. Lauren Hemp's in space. Coffey's ball couldn't pick her out.
Yeah, the idea was brilliant from Coffey to switch the play. Loved the little reverse ball inside from Hasegawa. It's the first bit of unpredictability we've seen from City so far in this game.
Fisk very nearly presenting it straight back to City, but fortunately for her, her team gets the throw-in. It's a tough end to the season for Liverpool. They've got Arsenal at home next after this, as the Manchester City players are getting a warm welcome for starting the warm-up, including Laura Coombs.
Yeah, recently announced they should be retiring from football at the end of the season, and former Liverpool player as well, of course, so applause from both sets of fans, which is lovely.
Hemp bulldozes her way past O'Sullivan. Firmino, Kasparai in support. Here is Kasparai. Goal kick Liverpool.
Yeah, good decision, I think. A desperate attempt at trying to get a corner from Kasparai. He did well to get up in support of Firmino on the underlap, but just look at the position of Firmino. She's so inverted when they win it. That's a brilliant challenge from Hemp, and she is well found, but the work rate again of Holland to get back and Bernabei to track the run. Brilliant stuff from Liverpool.
That looked a painful one for O'Sullivan. After this for Manchester City, they've got Chelsea away in the FA Cup in that semi-final that I mentioned. Then their final league game of the campaign is away at West Ham. A fixture that you'd think they would win, but it's the same for today's fixture, and so far Liverpool have been on top. Plenty of time to play, though. Manchester City need to get her more in the game. She's created the most big chances for City this campaign. So good from set plays. Manchester City, no side has scored more. And it comes by Coffey, out by Chilag. Back to the American. Liverpool so energetic in their press, though. Look at that, City having to go all the way back to Yamashita in goal.
He has a poor delivery in the first instance from Coffey. Didn't quite find the bend. She wanted to get it into that area just in front of Jennifer Falk, but as you say, they're like bees around honey, swarming Manchester City. Whenever it spills out, forcing them all the way back to Yamashita again.
There's O'Sullivan being aggressive in there. City work it out, though, to Bunny Shaw. Can't find Hemp. Frustrating first 24 minutes or so for Lauren Hemp. She's been in good positions a couple of times, but the pass hasn't found her.
No, and if you have a look at Grace Fisk, whenever Bunny Shaw is dropping in deep, which she's being forced to do to get on the ball, she's got somebody in Liverpool red right up behind her, putting that pass under pressure.
City fans trying to get behind their side, encourage them on. Andre Jegler, it's after the loss against Brighton last weekend, said he wasn't worried. Should he be worried now, Nia?
I think he'd be more worried about how his team is losing out in the duels. I think if you were going to ask a neutral who's watching this which team is fighting for a title, you'd probably say Liverpool, with the way that they're being so aggressive up against the City players, but they're just dying to find a rhythm. They haven't had the ball to build anything of note, Manchester City.
Carolyn looking for Lauren Hemp, who puts on the afterburners. Hemp across, Bunny Shaw, good save, and it's cleared behind for a Manchester City corner. Manchester City's first real opportunity, and it's that combo we're so used to seeing, Hemp and Shaw.
Yeah, and you said it yourself, Flo, they need to get Lauren Hemp in the game more, but just look at how she puts the afterburners on. It looks like it's Shimizu's ball to win all day up against her former teammate. She knows what it's like to be tracking back against Lauren Hemp in training, and it's a fellow Japanese teammate who gets back in the nick of time, Nagano, to take it off the foot of Fujino.
The corner was taken quickly. Out it goes for a City throw-in. Bit of a waste in the end, because Manchester City have scored twice as many goals via corners than any other side. You'd have expected them to put that in. Hemp up against Risa Shimizu again. And that time the Japanese duo get the better of her.
She doesn't look too pleased, and neither did the City fans sound too pleased, but good teamwork again, doubling up on Hemp. They know how dangerous she is when she's 1v1.
A warning shot then for Liverpool. City can come alive at any moment. And that was Manchester City's first shot of the game. Liverpool have already had 4, but here's Hemp again. The crowd's up now. Past Shimizu, who gets back just in time to block it out for a corner.
Yeah, they're bouncing off a couple of challenges, aren't they, in the midfield now, Liverpool. They're going in with everything, but if they lose out, they're a player down. It's good hold-up play from Shaw again, who's making her way in. Shimizu, I thought, had missed out here, but she does get back and recover well. You've got to stop the crosses.
Now Lauren Hemp's in the game. City are having a bit more opportunity in the final third. Packed 6-yard box.
She's not, yeah.
In swinger, cleared by Clark. Enderby's clearance doesn't help her team out. Lauren Hemp with the acrobatic effort. Up to Coffey. And again, another pass from Coffey that doesn't find the feet of Lauren Hemp.
Yeah, it's unusual for Manchester City because they're a team that make one of the least amount of changes to their starting lineup, which means they tend to have a good rhythm and good connections between them, but on a few occasions already in the opening half an hour or so, just not on the same wavelength at all. That ball needed to come in way sooner from Sam Coffey.
You stole my stat there, Nia. Manchester City have made the fewest changes to their starting 11 this season and used the fewest players overall than any other side. And sometimes I think football can be quite simple. If all your best players are fit and firing, then it's hard to stop you, especially if you've got the likes of Bunny Shaw, Vivian Miedemar, Alex Greenwood, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also, if you keep winning matches, which most of the time Manchester City have this season, then it's a very easy team selection for Andre Eglerts. Another high line for Manchester City. I think if they can get the timing of those runs a little bit better, Liverpool, you know the pace of Chillag, she can do some damage.
And last season, Manchester City had so many injuries. Hemp missed so much of the season, as did Shaw, Miedemar, Alex Greenwood, and they had their worst ever points tally. Kasparai in space now. Inviting delivery met by Bunny Shaw, but Jenna Clark had done just enough to put her off.
Yeah, she had, and it's so difficult because you've got to be looking at the ball but also have half an eye on where the best striker in the league is. It's brilliant play from City because Fagino's tucked in. They've got no left back, so Kerry Holland's trying desperately to get back. We know how deadly Bunny Shaw is in the air. She's got just over 80 goals for City, and over 30 of them have come from headers as well. Jenna Clark, as you said, eyes fixed on it. She's just got to jump if she can't win it.
Kasparai as well as the joint top assist record in the league this season with 7. Really good at putting a cross in. Chilag returning from an offside position. Nice idea from Kasparai, but Asagawa hadn't read it. Half an hour played, Liverpool started well, City have grown into it. Pretty even affair so far, as the scoreline suggests.
Yeah, it's a good game, and Liverpool showing more variety now than definitely they did before Christmas. Choosing to go long on occasion. We know his teams always like to possess the football, keep it on the floor, play through and around teams, but the fact that they've now built in the fact they can go more direct with the signings they've made is good for them.
Here's one of those January signings, Denise O'Sullivan. Shimizu on loan from Manchester City, allowed to play because there's no ineligibility clause in her contract. Enderby gets past Greenwood, and that will be a yellow card for the England defender. And there it is, Kirsty Dow, quick to get that out.
Well, I actually think it's really good experience from Enderby here. She's only 20 years of age, but as soon as she feels that little grab, she goes to ground, and Alex Greenwood's not happy with it, but I think she knows that the young winger had got away from her there. Good skill.
Over 100 caps for England. Former Liverpool player herself as well, of course, Alex Greenwood, back in the day. Good chance this to Liverpool. Fuka Nagano right on the edge of the box, unmarked. Holland lifts it in though. Pinball in the box. And Sullivan can't get it down. Shimizu sees it out.
It's a bit of an unusual place to have a free kick, so as you say, interesting that they didn't choose to cut it back to the free player.
Must be a strange experience for Research Shimizu playing against her parent club. Actually a club she's never played for, because when she signed for City, she then tore her ACL and couldn't play all season. Joined Liverpool on loan this season under Gareth Taylor, her former boss at Manchester City, the man that signed her. Well, a little unusual for her.
Yeah, definitely, but you can use that intel as well. As we say, she would have played against Lauren Hemp so many times in training. You get to know things that she does well, but also you get to know their weaknesses too.
Olsen, O'Sullivan. Back to Falk. He manages to find Olsen. Liverpool throw him. And I suspect any Arsenal fans watching this afternoon might be a little bit encouraged by what they've seen. Arsenal, of course, crashed out of the Champions League yesterday away in Lyon. So they're not in WSL action this weekend. They play on Wednesday away at Brighton. It's one of their many games in hand. They've got loads to pack in before the end of the season. Rose wins the free kick.
She's having a good game, Jade Rose, in fairness. But even when Liverpool haven't been close enough to intercept or to tackle the player, they've broken up the rhythm of Manchester City, which is what has made them so effective so far this season, is that flow that they can find.
Kasperai forced backwards by Holland. Yamashita not pleased with the options in front of her. Finds Fujino, does well to control the powerful pass. Cut out well by Fisk. It's really good from Bernabei to hold on to it and then win the throw-in.
Yeah, they've been really tidy in those areas, protected the ball well. There's been some nice touches on this left-hand side between Bernabei and Holland, who've covered each other well as well.
Coffee. Hasegawa finds Shaw, but her pass forward to Fujino was not a precise one.
It was a lovely ball through to Hasegawa. It's the first time really they've managed to find a player in that little pocket just in front of the Liverpool back line. Little talking to here. Kasperai looks like she's snitching on one of her classmates to the teacher. Kerry Holland involved as well. That's a battle to keep your eyes on.
Awesome. Interesting how Olsen and Chilag are playing together. Two furthest forward attackers. Chilag, though, playing more as a number 9 than Olsen, perhaps a number 10 than just in behind.
Yeah, definitely. She's looking to get in on the ball as Olsen and use her pressing prowess as well. And Chilag is in there to really stretch that Manchester City back line, as we've said last week there. Lack of speed at times was exposed by Brighton, and Chilag hope to do the same.
Tracking back from Enderby. In by Hemp. Out by Holland. Here's Hemp, no one engaging her. Carolyn, Shaw. Shimizu tracked it, read it, played it back to her goalkeeper.
Yeah, and Taylor spoke about why Shimizu was included today. The 29-year-old Japanese international played at 2 World Cups, and you can see it. She's not jumping out towards Lauren Hemp all of the time. He's reading the little ball around the corner from Shaw really well.
Here is Hemp. Greenwood on the overlap. Hemp wins the corner.
Yeah, good defending again. She knows probably Lauren Hemp has got the edge on her from a speed perspective, so the most dangerous place is protecting the space in behind. You can see she's just dropping off, just delaying. She does spot the run of Greenwood, but first and foremost, as a fullback, you've got to stop the cross, and she's done that well.
Lifted in by Coffey, well punched by Falk. That doesn't look good for Bjorta Olsen. Pagano fouled by Coffey, and that will be a yellow card. Perhaps an accumulation of fouls. She also had a pretty heavy challenge earlier on as well.
Yeah, I think that was probably her final warning when she took out Enderby, and it's another late one in on Fuka Nagano. Maybe a little bit of frustration creeping in for Manchester City that they've yet to find a foothold in this match.
Knack does well to Chilag at bay and get the clearance. Here's that punch then.
Oh, it's a brilliant punch, wasn't it? Worthy of being in a boxing ring from Falk. She's got such distance on it, and then just the follow through on top of Olsen. She's kind enough to shoo her out of a penalty area afterwards, back up to her striker position.
Breaks for Enderby. Really, Chilag with the strike, but was always rising.
Yeah, it was a difficult one because the through ball from Enderby just took her a little wider of where she wanted to be. You can see she's pointing towards it, so she's having to come back on herself. Chooses to go for power as well and doesn't get across it enough. Chilag. At least his pint's protected.
Hasegawa being hunted down by Bernabe. Bunny Shaw. Liverpool win it back, Enderby. Can't find a way past Greenwood, and here's Carolyn at her best, dribbling at backtracking defenders. Pass into Hemp was a poor one though. Comes back to Carolyn. Finds Hemp on that occasion. Back to Greenwood. Greenwood's delivery. Won't quite fall for Shaw, and Liverpool hack it away.
Yeah, they're first to all the second balls, Liverpool, and they have been all half, in fairness. Knocking on the door, though, City, towards the end of this first half.
Firgino. Stood up by Holland, and the Welsh international won that duel.
Yeah, they're almost a back five at times when Kasparai is so high up the pitch. Kerry Holland more than ably slotting into that Liverpool back line.
Kerry Holland getting serenaded by the away fans. They've not had too much to cheer about on the road this season, those Liverpool fans. Picked up only 5 points from their 10 away games as Jenna Clark takes no risks with that clearance.
Yeah, she had a little scan across, didn't she, to see if Jennifer Falk was coming, and she wasn't.
And they've got attacking options, Manchester City, for the second period, should they want to change things like Mary Fowler on there, Imam Benny as well. Can Manchester City sucker punch Liverpool just before the half-time whistle? 2 minutes of injury time added on them. Again, well dealt with by Swedish goalkeeper Jennifer Falk.
Yeah, good claim from the Swede, but also good blocking and good marking from those out in front of her as well, because she's not the tallest of goalkeepers, so she needs that little bit of space in front of her protected so she can come and claim.
Liverpool get the free kick just over the halfway line. Captain Grace Fisk. This ball is cleared. One back by Fagino. Kerry Holland, ever the willing runner. First time delivery, blocked by Rose. Chilla gets there ahead of Kasparai. She's an imposing physical presence, Chilla. Look at her. Just getting her way past Kasparai. In by Bernabei. Really, really inviting ball. Olsen couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, unfortunately for Liverpool, nobody closing in towards that back post either. But again, look at the bodies up in support for Liverpool. It's a delicious ball across. Enderby a drop back off to the edge of the box, the right winger.
Well brought down by Greenwood into her England teammate Hemp. And there's the half-time whistle then. Well, in a game that Manchester City need to win if they're to keep the title in their own hands, they've started a little bit sluggishly. Liverpool started by far the better side. Grace Fisk hit the base of the post. Denise O'Sullivan also forced a save. Manchester City grew into the game. Bunny Shaw with a shot from a Lauren Hemp cross, well saved by Jennifer Falk, but a pretty even game. Half-time, Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0. Back underway then in the second half. A really tightly contested first 45 minutes. Manchester City with slightly more of the ball, but Liverpool had the better chances in the second half. Can either one of these teams take one of those chances? And how impactful could this game be on where the title ends up come the end of the season? No changes at the break from either manager. City do have some good attacking options though, should they want to try and change things up. Mary Fowler on the bench, Imam Benny. As for Gareth Taylor, he's got some options as well himself to bring on. Annie Jossendahl, Alice Bergstrom, among others. It's no longer a bare bench like it was back at the start of the season with all those injury issues, as Chillag is going in behind. Does well to get it past Yamashita, but Knack is there to clear.
Well, there's that high line that we said, even in the opening couple of minutes, could be got at if they could time their runs better. Yamashita chose to come really late.
Nice one-touch football from Manchester City. Shaw holding off Fisk. Brings Hemp into the play. And Clark's touch, not a useful one there, out by Fisk. Back to Robert Fagino, whose strike hits the legs of Grace Fisk. Was struck well. And that burst has got the City fans up. They're fighting for a title, a first title in 10 years. Plenty of motivation. Carolyn. Greenwood delivers. Out by Clark. Back to Fagino. Again, her effort blocked.
Oh, a couple of really, really important defensive actions in that passage of play from Liverpool, but they've started really strongly here, Man City, and what I've enjoyed watching about them so far this season is how they interchange positions. We've seen Lauren Hemp already drifting over to the right-hand side, back on the left now.
Hemp looking for Bunny Shaw over the Jamaican. To Carolyn. Hemp gets away from Shimizu, still Lauren Hemp, and the strike. And wasn't really struck with the power it needed to beat a goalkeeper like Jennifer Falk.
Oh, lovely footwork though, wasn't it, from Lauren Hemp. It's a missed header from Nagano. When it comes to Carolyn, there's plenty of free players around her in sky blue, and it's on a weaker foot, so nothing really to scare Jennifer Falk, but a really, really bright start from Manchester City. Much better. Already double the amount of shots they've had on goal in the second half so far.
There's the reaction that Andre Yeglets will have wanted from his side. Here they come again, Lauren Hemp. Shimizu doesn't want to engage. Carolyn. Square to Fagino. Out to Kasparai. Red shirt's back behind the ball, and it's nearly won back by Kerry Holland.
Yeah, and this is actually the period in the game that Liverpool have conceded the most amount of goals, just after half-time. Maybe Man City know that.
That's Agawa. Trying to lift it towards Shaw, away by Nagano. Her clearance finds a teammate. And that's a little lacklustre from Mia Enderby. Perhaps no shout of player on, because she didn't know Carolyn was right behind her.
No, but you've got to expect it. No time to dwell whatsoever, but already better fight being shown by City.
Gets passed away from Shimizu, goes for goal herself, and that wasn't far away.
Oh, it really is a tasty battle, isn't it? Down this left-hand side between Hemp and Shimizu, and you think she's going nowhere. She slows it right down, and bang! You think Shimizu's got her body in the right position, and who am I to say that there's not quality in that right foot like there is the left from Lauren Hemp? Certainly you think if City are going to break the deadlock here, it's probably going to be through Hemp.
One goal away from 100 goal involvements in the BWSL for Lauren Hemp. Now level on shots, 5 each. As Shaw is hauled down by Nagano, who will get her name in the referee's notebook for that.
Yeah, deserved yellow card. She can have no complaints about that one. And this is where Bunny Shaw often doesn't get the credit she deserves, actually. We know how good she is at finishing, but the way that she can hold the ball up, so difficult to defend.
Really promising start from Manchester City. Can they keep it up? Greenwood floats it towards the back post, out by Clark. Fagino delivers. Carolyn keeps it alive. Back to Lauren Hemp, one touch, the curling effort. And there is Bunny Shaw, but unable to reach it. Behind it goes, but Manchester City ramping up the pressure now.
Yeah, it's exactly what we expected from them. Final home game of the season. I want to thank their support for the brilliant atmosphere they've created at the Joy Stadium all season long, and it's, I think it is a cross aiming towards the forehead of Bunny Shaw. Why not? We know how deadly she is in the 6-yard box, in the air, but
O'Sullivan trying to get a bit of control back for Liverpool. She likes the outlet, and it falls kindly for her. Now his red shirt's forward. O'Sullivan on the overlap. Chilak perhaps missed the opportunity to pass to her. And now all the Manchester City players are back. The Liverpool move breaks down. was unfortunate because they had players forward there, and now they're on the back track. Lauren Hemp. Delivery cleared by Fisk.
Yes, Andre, says Alex Greenwood. She knows the tempo is important at the top of the table for a reason, and it's usually because they can be so wearing against teams, the intensity they bring.
Intercepted by Kerry Holland, driving at Rose. Still Holland, and the strike well off target, but you can see why she took it. She won the ball high up, it opened up for her.
Yeah, and the game has opened up as well, hasn't it? It's a poor pass out towards Kasparai from Jade Rose, who does delay really well in fairness, but Kerry Holland usually so deadly, at least getting this one on target, and actually a player of her quality and the form she's in. She's had 5 player of the matches so far in the BWSL, needs to hit the target.
Rose goes long, cleared by Fisk. The game very much in the balance. And for Manchester City, plenty at stake this afternoon. They will not want the title to go down to goal difference. Something that stung them before. They've been in such a commanding position for so long. They've been top of the table since November. Win these 2 games and they've won whatever Arsenal do.
Yeah, and it's hard to criticise this group of players because they have been magnificent, but nerves have to be coming into it. That pressure, needing to get over the line. As you said, they've been the nearly women for so many years, 7-time runners-up, haven't won a title for 10 years. It must be creeping into their mindset a little bit.
No Miedemar as well. Today, she was missing last weekend against Brighton. She's been a really key player for them, alongside Bunny Shaw. 10 WSL goals this campaign for her. She's, of course, as well the all-time leading goal scorer in this league. But one woman does not make a team, and Manchester City have plenty of players on the pitch out there today that know how to find the back of the net, none more so than Bunny Shaw.
Yeah, she's certainly a miss, and sending her our thoughts. She is away for personal reasons, but absolutely a player of her calibre, certainly miss. But her relationship with Shaw as well, and how much they help each other out.
Painful one for Kerry Holland.
Well, it's not the first time today we've seen a ball straight into the nose of a player. It was Rebecca Knack in the first half, and that's a painful one for Holland.
You're a dual athlete, Nia Jones. You played... You played football and netball for your country. Which sport do you get hit more in the face with the ball?
Ah, it's a great question. I actually think it's netball, but that's just down to poor catching skills from me. But I tell you what, a football to the face is one of the most painful things in the game. Pretty embarrassing as well, but I think that just goes to show how quickly they've been closing Manchester City players down today, forcing them into lacklustre clearances. She won't mind taking that one to the face if it stopped a dangerous attack, Holland.
They've really had the bit between their teeth this afternoon, Liverpool. I wonder if Gareth Taylor has real motivation to come here and spoil the party against his former side.
Yeah, I know he's been very professional, and he's very much said he's been focused on his own project here. But as you said, not only did he spend time here as a professional footballer himself, he's coached in the academy with the boys prior to his head coach duties for almost 14 years. So certainly it'll be something, it'll be nostalgic for him. He would, I love, deep down, to have a little say in the title race, I'm sure. Also, I did like his post-match interviews last week. He was quite critical of his team for the first time this season. Criticised their attitude in duels. They didn't earn the right to play, and they've certainly rose to the challenge today.
Looks like Holland is going to be okay. Just needed a moment after that. She was taken off against West Ham last time out because she is carrying an injury. You can see the heavy strapping on her leg. Gareth Taylor will be hoping she can play all of this game because she is such a key player for them. Really, really instrumental. A player as well that's been with Liverpool since their championship season. So she knows how important it is to play for the badge. Hasegawa out to Hem. Greenwood's forward run has given space for Carolyn. Ball up and a header from Bunny Shaw. Inaccurate.
Well, the movement already in this second half for Manchester City, much improved. Alex Greenwood's taken up a really advanced position, and it's clever because she knows that she's offside and Carolyn most definitely isn't. Good change of angle on the cut back to Bunny Shaw, who, again, by her standards, can probably do a bit better with that chance.
Yellow card there just been given to one of the Liverpool coaching staff. Not quite sure the reason for that yet. So it was the assistant that got that yellow, not Gareth Taylor. There he is, Chad Gribble. Approaching the hour mark then, still 0-0. City have been much better this second half. Can they continue their upward trajectory? Fagino took a tumble right on the edge of the box. Nagano had followed her all the way. And free kick given. City banging the war drum. Can they go on and get the win? West Ham away, their final game of the season. Carolyn, Hemp. Liverpool throw-in. No side has scored more than Manchester City's 57-goal tally this season, but yet to find the net today. The Man City fans want the throw-in taken. Bright in space, O'Sullivan trying to get there and close it off. Liverpool's defensive distances have been really good this afternoon.
Yeah, they have, and they're picking their battles really wisely, opting not to high press on this occasion.
As Shaw finds Carolyn. In behind, Carolyn! Brilliant save from Falk. And Manchester City frustrated again.
Oh, it's the first time, really, they've managed to cut through the Liverpool team. They've been so aggressive of Liverpool, but that's a lovely ball through and expertly taken from Carolyn. But what a save from Jennifer Falk. She's changed their season, has the Swedish goalkeeper. She stays up for a long period of time, hands on heads for all at the Joy Stadium.
In comes the corner. Again, it's met by Clark. She's been brilliant at clearing all those. Shaw. Booted out by Denise O'Sullivan.
Well, she had three to beat out there, Bunny Shaw. She sat down Chillag, not sure what knock she took. Holland was in there eventually away by Fisk.
Shaw in the box again. Greenwood surrounded by red shirts. One back by O'Sullivan. Olsen's in space. Enderby's trying to get forward down the right-hand side. Chilag in possession now. Great work from Carolyn. Advantage played. Really entertaining contest between two sides playing really good football. Lauren Hemp. Again, there is Clark, but another corner for Manchester City.
Yeah, really entertaining stuff, end to end as well, and really in a hurry to get things moving again. They can sense that they're on top for the first time in the game, really, the home team.
No side has scored more goals from corners. 12 goals they found from this position this season. Can they get another one today? Again, punched by Falk. Can Liverpool spring the counter? Not on that occasion. Hasegawa. Lauren Hemp. Good exchange with Carolyn. The ball across, met by Bunny Shaw, but again it's over. She's not had her shooting boots on this afternoon. A couple of headers that have gone over, and that one there as well.
Yeah, and none of them, in fairness, have been clear-cut chances with Bunny Shaw. But again, the wing play down this left-hand side, combination play between Carolyn and Lauren Hemp. It's that pace that Shimizu can't deal with when there's space in behind her. Credit again to Grace Fisk, who knows exactly who's going to be on the end of this cutback, and it's Bunny Shaw of all people.
A look of frustration on the face of Bunny Shaw. Kasparai. Fouled by O'Sullivan.
Yeah, and it's one thing I don't think Manchester City have done enough of today, is hit that switch. But in fairness to Liverpool, the angle in which they're pressing has prevented them from doing so, and when they haven't been able to win the ball, they've broken up play. And here's something that we've seen time and time again. You can hear what the Joy Stadium think of Jennifer Falk going down, seemingly needing some medical attention.
It is something that a lot of BWSL teams use to get a little time with their manager to tactically reset. Lots of discussions going on about next season, perhaps a rule where the players won't be able to go over to the manager and get instructions in the situation where the goalkeeper needs attention, but that's for next season. And you spoke a moment ago, Nia Jones, about how good Jennifer Falk has been. Liverpool hadn't kept a clean sheet until she joined in January. She's had 4 clean sheets in 9 appearances.
Yeah, it's just the experience, isn't it? Annie will remember her heroics at Euro 2025 against England. Did come out the wrong end of that result, but she saved 4 penalties in that shootout, if you remember. She also missed her own penalty kick, sailed over the bar, but much needed bit of recruitment from Gareth Taylor, and I think as well it has helped that Grace Fisk has moved into centre-back position alongside Jenna Clark. They've been brilliant together all season long, and it's really given them a platform to build upon.
Alice Bergstrom about to come on then, another player that signed in January from BK Häcken, Swedish side. A lot of WSL recruitment coming from Scandinavia and Japan, of course. O'Sullivan, Enderby, gives it away to Hasegawa. Hemp looking for the run of Carolyn, and it's well collected by Falk, who's made an enemy for the Manchester City fans.
Yeah, I understand they won't like it, and no home team would like it if against you, but it's still in the rules, and we've seen it in the Premier League as well. And I can see a time when actually maybe tactical timeouts come into football, like we see in many other sports. Chance for coaches to have an input, and it does make for a better contest, but it really has stifled the momentum that Manchester City had worked hard to build up at the start of the second half.
Here's that Liverpool change then. Off comes the right back, Risa Shimazu. She's replaced with Bergstrom, a like-for-like change there then. Although Bergstrom can also play in a more forward position. Has already scored for Liverpool against Manchester United in the league.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they use her now. Are they just needing a little bit more pace in that area up against Lauren Hemp, or are they going to be asking her to be slightly more advanced and maybe pin Hemp back altogether?
He looks a little nervous, doesn't he?
He does, actually. For the first time this season, he does look a little bit nervous. I don't think he was expecting this from his team. They have played much better in the second half, there's no doubt about that, but the longer it stays at 0-0, the more frustration creeps in and the more impatience creeps in.
Chilag. Ball nearly squirmed all the way through to Nagano, but City able to deal with it. And Liverpool have had fewer opportunities in this second half as Carolyn tries to break away into Hemp. Bergstrom's first taste of Lauren Hemp. She's backing off. Comes back to Hemp. Crucial intervention from Bernabei, because if not, Honey Shaw would have been in.
Yeah, just good awareness of knowing where the striker was.
For Gino. Still going, cries of shoot into Carolyn, round the corner to Alex Greenwood, whose strike is straight at the goalkeeper, and she was offside anyway.
It's really good football again from Manchester City, and Alex Greenwood, it's the one title that is missing from her trophy cabinet, is this WSL trophy, and she's come out on a mission in this second half, been much more advanced, and that's a slip from Holland, who's diving in. Look at the space that Alex Greenwood's in. She's been up there ever since they came back out from half-time, but does just stray offside, doesn't get the direction she needs to challenge Falk either.
A yellow as well for Kerry Holland for the earlier challenge, as Chilag very nearly found herself through on goal. Alert goalkeeping from Yamashita.
Oh yeah, great speed off the line, wasn't it, from the goalkeeper. Little mistake from Rebecca Knack.
If they win, do you think she'll dye her hair gold?
That's usually the dare, isn't it? If we win, I'll dye my hair, but she's gone a little bit early for me, Yamashita there.
City yet to make a change. Yeah, Glutz has faith with the 11 he put out as Kanak has fouled.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time before he does look towards his bench. Somebody to make an impact, give Liverpool something else to figure out. Imam Bene got the winner last time out at Anfield in that 2-1 victory for them.
Alex Greenwood's so high in this second half. Yamashita to get things going. And ahead of this, Manchester City would have fancied themselves. Only Aston Villa have conceded more goals than Liverpool.
Yeah, and they've also scored almost 3 times as many as Liverpool have as well, so I think it's credit to the growth that Liverpool have shown, especially since Christmas.
Brilliant control from Bernabei. Here's Holland. Surging away, or trying to anyway, from Kasparai. Bernabei, red shirts in the box to aim for. Good looking delivery, met by Olsen, and it's wide. How close was that for Liverpool?
Oh, what a let-off this is. It's really good, patient play actually, down the left-hand side, but why is nobody at all on Bernabei, who just cruised forward from the left-back position and Knapp way too far off a striker as potent as Beate Olsen. Yamashita left waiting, looking, hoping as well.
Shaw. Through to Fagino. She hangs it up at the back post and Bergstrom deals with it. And that opportunity will make City a little bit wary of piling too many players forward.
Yeah, it's good work from Lauren Hemp, because she's cut in on a couple of occasions so far in this match and tested Jennifer Falk's goal with her right foot. It gives your right back a bit of a headache. We know she favours the left-hand side, but now it's just a little bit more unpredictable. Which way is she going to go?
Kasparai hangs it up. Bunny Shaw gets there. Who did that go off? Man City. Goal kick Liverpool, approaching the final quarter of an hour. Big 15 minutes, perhaps, in Manchester City's season.
Yeah, you could even tell by the body language of Bunny Shaw. She knew straight away that it had come off her. If the linesman was in any doubt, I think you just look at the body language. She's fitting a frustrated figure so far. She's had some half chances, nothing clear-cut. She's not a player that likes to go any game without a goal.
Her record in the PWSL is remarkable. It really is. 81 goals in 91 league appearances before today.
Yeah, we've all heard the rumours about how a certain Chelsea Football Club have been lurking in the wings. They're on the lookout for a new striker.
Goal kick, Manchester City. Shaw, really good work to help it on to Fagino. Holland back defending, and defending well. Bergstrom, nice little shimmy to get away from Carolyn. Red shirts forward. Bergstrom's delivery comes back to Kerry Holland. Time to pick a spot, and over it goes again. Another chance though, another strike from the edge of the box from Kerry Holland.
Yeah, time stood still, didn't it? You can see the space that Kerry Holland's in, is hoping that exact action happens and it falls to her.
And in the past 5 minutes or so, it's Liverpool have looked more likely.
I think the more that City are pushing and committing body forward, we've already mentioned how advanced Alex Greenwood's start positions have been, and she's getting in there ahead of even the wingers on occasion. That does leave a little bit more space for Liverpool to try and get into on the counter-attack.
Grace Fisk penalised for foul on Bunny Shaw.
I think she's probably saying, like, look at the difference in height here, but she does go through the back of Bunny Shaw.
Was sent off, of course, in the Merseyside derby, Fisk. opportunity then for Manchester City to get the ball in the Liverpool box. Towards the back post, cleared by Holland. Firmino. Mover hits it, and Penny Shaw is not happy with her teammate.
No, she's not. I think if you're going to shoot from there instead of clipping it into players who are already advanced, the two centre-backs were up as well from the free kick. But she's been lively for Gino, in fairness, and when she's drifted out off that right wing, she's been dangerous, and nobody really from Liverpool has known how to pick her up, but didn't get the execution of that shot right at all.
Mary Fowler looks pretty relaxed. Might she be coming on? Could she provide the magic touch? Fisk wins the header. That's good from O'Sullivan. Holland fancies herself up against Kasparai, who gives away the corner.
Yeah, it's not usually the direction that Kirsten Kasparai likes sprinting back towards. Used to seeing her up the other end, overlapping over for Gino. Well, they're having a lovely day out by the looks of things.
Anna Jossendahl, the new signing from the January period, about to come on. Referee has some sorting out to do in the penalty area.
Well, it's hard for Jenna Clark to blend in. You can see the height advantage she has. She's getting picked up by Jade Rose.
And it goes to that congested area, and behind it goes for another corner.
There's a bizarre one. Ficino is at that front post area, but seemed to leave it intentionally.
Lauren Hemp and Aurelie Chillag. We had a little wrestling match, and Liverpool have really packed that area. I see that more and more from corners these days. That's a much better delivery, and it's a brilliant punch from Yamashita.
Yeah, excellent teasing ball in from Holland. You can see what they're trying to do. Just so many bodies in and around Yamashita, who is an excellent goalkeeper, but she's only 5'7", so Bunny Shaw was there on hand as well. Well, it was Bunny Shaw, in fact. Brilliant header from the Jamaican forward.
And it comes again, cleared away. Only so far as Nagano. Blocked by Greenwood. Back to Holland. Red shirt still packing that penalty box. Bernabei towards the back post, across by Clark. Falls to O'Sullivan, but a touch let her down, and Alex Greenwood able to clear. Well, Manchester City, who desperately want a goal, on the ropes now. Chillag, ball across and behind.
Well, that was a massive chance for Denise O'Sullivan. Piling on the pressures, a brilliant ball to the back post. Jenna Clark does everything right. Just can't get it under control. Could she have taken it first time, I wonder? The Irish international just took a swipe on that. Alex Greenwood, good defensive work.
Liverpool sub then. Aurelie Chillag's come off, and she's been replaced by Jossendahl. It's been limited in her minutes because of injury and illness, so should be pleased to be getting on now. Manchester City look a little bit rattled. Rose steps out. All a bit untidy from Manchester side. Sagawa gives it away. She intercepts it well. Free kick though for Liverpool.
Yeah, you could see the referee was giving that one plenty of time to see if there was any type of advantage for Liverpool before bringing it back for the free kick on Nagano. As you say, everything's a little bit more stretched now, a little bit more space.
Here's the first change for Manchester City then. Virginia off, on comes Mary Fowler.
Yeah, we know how talented she is. The Australian international will be buzzing to be back involved in the BWSL after tearing her ACL a little over a year ago.
It's Liverpool who are looking the more likely side at the moment. In it goes again. Clark's the target at the back post again. Greenwood clears away. And Liverpool win the throw-in. Manchester City can't get out their own half at the moment.
No, it's really swayed, hasn't it, the momentum in this game, but I don't think Manchester City would have been expecting this late surge from Liverpool. Would have hoped that their intensity at the start of the second half would have worn the away team down, who, as you say, have got a pretty poor record against them, but also here at the Joy Stadium. But finishing the stronger here, Liverpool.
Fowler. Won't quite break for Hemp, who does well to put pressure on Clark there, but Liverpool get it back. Here is Fowler, the substitute. Slides into the path of Carolyn. Shaw and Hemp in front of her. Here is Carolyn. Wins the corner.
Oh, she's been brilliant, hasn't she, Grace Fisk? Blocks, tackles, interceptions. She's won a fair share of aerial duels up against 6-foot Bunny Shaw as well. As they're dropping back into this position, a little bit slow to get up in support for me, Manchester City. Hemp arriving late.
She has been carrying an injury. Kerry Holland looks like she might have run out of puff.
Yeah, as you say, really heavy strapping on that right quad. She's not really a player you associate with trying to time waste. Came through the academy system at Manchester City. She's shown her talent on occasions today, but just looks to be suffering from a little bit of cramp, getting a gel in. And an energy drink as well. As you say, Gareth Taylor knows her importance. With and without the ball, they'll need her for these final 5+.
And look at those frown lines on the face of Andre Eglert's forehead.
They weren't there at the start of the game, were they?
They weren't. And this is all a little bit unexpected, Nia Jones, is it not?
Yeah, I think it is. Well, obviously, they've only lost 3 games all season, Manchester City. They've been so dominant in so many games, free scoring, free flowing football. Just seemed to be tightening up towards the end of the season. It looked halfway through like they'd be sprinting towards the finish. Now they're almost limping. And nobody will be happier to be watching this than Arsenal Football Club.
In their last 4 in the league, they've won 2, drawn 1, lost 1. Here's that earlier Carolyn chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good old-fashioned 1v1, and it's a little bit too central. Opts to go for power as opposed to direction. How well does Falk do? Falling away from it, and I think actions speak louder than words. He epitomises the feeling here at the Joy Stadium.
I'm not sure Holland's going to be able to continue her. I think they're trying to patch her up, but perhaps not. Nervy moments for those Manchester City fans then. A reminder, though, that all would not be lost if they did draw here. It just means that Arsenal have an opportunity to go level on points with Manchester City ahead of the final game of the season. But Arsenal must win those games in hand. They've got Brighton, Villa, Everton, and then they finish with Liverpool on the final day of the season. It's no banker that they'll win all of those.
No, it's not, but they, again, are having a fantastic domestic season, our Arsenal, and as we've said, are out of all the other competitions, and a club like Arsenal do not like to go seasons without any trophies. On comes Lily Woodham in place of her international teammate Holland.
So after that break then, the Man City corner. In it goes, Kanak is there. And again, it's off target. She's usually so effective from headers, Kanak. And it was all smiles at the start of this afternoon, but a lot of furrowed brows now. Fowler, surrounded by red shirts. Forward by Rose. Carolyn advancing. And Fisk puts it behind for another Manchester City corner. They've been so effective from corners this season, but they haven't looked likely to score from a corner yet this afternoon, Nia.
No, and what I like about what they're doing is they're being really physical in that penalty area. Sometimes it's not allowed to happen by the referee, but she's let a lot go in there when they've been grappling for positions. They protected their goalkeeper well.
Greenwood, that's a good delivery, and again caught by Jennifer Falk. Into the final minute, we're expecting 6 to be added on for injury time. A reminder that Manchester City have won all of their home league games here at the Joy Stadium this season. In fact, their winning streak stretches back to last season. 11 games on the bounce. Carolyn. Greenwood. Here's Hemp then. Running at Bergstrom and making space for herself. Lauren Hemp delivers it in, and there is Bunny Shaw, but again, there is Falk. Brilliant save. Another corner for City.
Well, you're literally waiting for the net to ripple. How often have we seen this? Hemp running down the left wing. It's a brilliant ball in. And Fisk hasn't lost out many aerial duels to Bunny Shaw today. And look at the reaction save from Falk.
Manchester City now into double figures for corners. In by Greenwood. That time it's met by Kanak, and it goes all the way in! And there is the goal that Manchester City so desperately desired. And what a goal that could be for them. A goal that keeps the title firmly in their hands. Joy once again. And look at the relief on Jeglert's face. And there's no real celebration from Kanak, who took a knock to that shoulder, didn't she, in the opening 10 minutes up against Chillag. But I'm sure in time, with an ice pack, she will go on to really celebrate that goal that could be, just could be, decisive. And there's a fist bump. In City finally, after 10 long years, getting their hands back on that BWSL trophy. You can print the T-shirts again. You can order the blue ribbon, and Falk has been almost faultless in this game, but I think that's one of the easier saves that you probably expect to make of the game. It's a diving header from the centre-back. And the pressure finally paying off for Man City. Rebecca Kanak putting her body on the line to try and help her team get over the line. And now we see a smile on the face of Andre Jeglerts. And look at what it means to the Manchester City captain, Alex Greenwood.
Oh, Greenwood, in fairness, has been brilliant in the second half. She had a tough afternoon last week against Brighton. He really targeted her side of the pitch, and pretty quiet in the first half here, but she's come out with a vengeance.
Well, there is the table then. Manchester City up to 52 points. Arsenal have 3 games in hand. They can only reach 50 with those. So going into the final game of the season, it's very much advantage Manchester City, regardless of what Arsenal do in their games in hand. Oh, how they've had to work for it though, Nia Jones.
Yeah, and this game almost epitomises their journey to this title if they make it there. It's sweeter when you get the goal or you get the trophy because of how hard it's been. Credit to Liverpool, who've been brilliant all afternoon in their defensive duties. The champions, we say this so often and have said it so often about Chelsea in years gone by, who've picked up the last 6, but again, we've said it before, there's been an inevitability about this Manchester City team all season.
Three minutes yet to play though. Here's Olsen. One back by Coffey. Out with Bergstrom, who was marking Rebecca Knack, unable to get there ahead of the German.
Well, you said it as well, how deadly Manchester City have been from corners, and it's when they mixed it up, actually. They've been putting balls right on top of Jennifer Falk, who was equal to all of them, claiming everything. And they changed the setup and got their award to Knack.
Kasparov. Pumped long by Rose. Clark in a foot race with Bunny Shaw. Lauren Hemp geeing the crowd up. And here's a nice moment then. Laura Coombs coming on for Alex Greenwood to take the captain's armband. She's retiring at the end of this season, the 35-year-old. This is her last home game for Manchester City, and it's looking like as well she's going to have a BWSL medal at the end of the season.
Yeah, brilliant scenes, and that's what that goal affords them to do, is create this little moment here for Laura Coombs. The family and friends watching on, but the fans as well. She's been a brilliant player in the BWSL for Manchester City, but picked up trophies with Chelsea, played at Liverpool as well, so a fantastic moment. So rarely in football do you get these little fairy tale periods, but this is a nice one for Laura Coombs.
She's on for Carolyn then, but wearing the armband gifted to her by Alex Greenwood. Nice touch. City have the ball in the right area, and Shaw wins another throw-in. Right, out of time, playing now at the discretion of the referee. Probably about 30 seconds more because of that goal, the injury time goal. A credit to Liverpool that Manchester City are forced to do this and try and hold it in the corner to see out the 1-0 win. That didn't quite work out how they'd have hoped, but we might just be out of time. By Nagano. Knack with the rather awkward ball back. Picked up by Yamashita. The Manchester City players want the whistle. That's smart from Yamashita, just to eat up a few more seconds. On we go. Final chance maybe for Liverpool. Back to Fisk. Can Liverpool sting City late on? Bergstrom, red shirts in the box, lifts it goalwards, and it goes behind. And that is it then. Manchester City left it late, but Rebecca Kanak with the crucial goal to get her side over the line. And going into the final day of the season, the title is very much in Manchester City's hands. Liverpool started really well. They had chances of their own, but Manchester City got it over the line. Full-time score, Manchester City 1, Liverpool 0.